Alright, if loving you is wrong, fans, gosh, I ain't gonna lie. I get sick of talking about it, but dang it, the videos get views and I gotta pay bills. So, without further ado, give this video a thumbs up. Comment your thoughts once the video's over. Please wait until the video's over before you comment. That way it doesn't sound like you didn't watch the video and listen to what I said. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any new content. Follow me on social media, links are in the description. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, on Cash App, or join my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Should season 6 happen? People are still asking the question, and I don't see this question or concern or these fan demands going away anytime soon. When I'm on social media, whether it be the comments of an Instagram post, a tweet, a YouTube comment, a Facebook group post or message, social media in general, people are still wanting answers. People are still wanting clarity and conclusion. This video isn't about how I would write season 6. Honestly, I've already done that, but I probably got to do another video in the near future. But it should, or should I say will? Will Smith, Jada, Red Talk. But no, should season 6 happen? Let me put it this way. I think as fans, we want it to happen and we need it to happen because it was a long-running series that honestly did not get the conclusion that it deserved. Now, will the series happen? Season 6 series happen? I honestly don't think so. I know the biggest argument people make is, well, and look, regardless of how you feel about the Pains, it was trash. But regardless about how you feel about it, that show is the best example because it showed that, hey, Tyler Perry can bring back a show, and he's done it multiple times. He brought back House of Pain through the Pains, and due to that being a complete flop, he's bringing it back again on BET. Assisted Living, we don't know if it's going to be tied into the continuity of Meet the Browns, so basically we'll just have to find out when we watch the first couple episodes to see if there's any nods to the boarding house or Sasha or any other characters or Will or whoever else. So my thing is this. I think we should get it soon. I mean, I would say that as a fan, it would be great within like a year's time, because I know with the whole COVID thing, it's throwing a lot of production stuff off, wrong back within a year's time as opposed to like 3 or 5 years from now. And it's like, oh, finally, because by that time, I feel like there would have been so many other Tyler Perry shows that would have either been created for the television and whatnot, or we will be in like season 5 of The Oval or something like that, you know? So I think that, and again, this is just my opinion, so if there's anybody from behind the scenes who either works at Tyler Perry Studios, at BET, at OWN, or if it's you're Tyler Perry yourself and you have thoughts on this, please hit me up. Like I said, social media links are in the description, or you can email me. But just remember that I'm a fan like everyone else and what the decision was. I remember when the Pains was first announced, and that was around the time not too long after the article came out, like 2017, about, oh, by 2020 Tyler Perry is going to be done with OWN, the haves and have-nots. If Loving You Is Wrong, they'll run their final episodes, their final seasons, and then get to the point of syndication. And then by that time, Tyler Perry will already be with Viacom working on his projects there. But the big surprise was, out of the blue, we get the announcement for the Pains, and we're like, wait, why would he introduce a new show right as he's about to exit the OWN network? He's already and Melrose and just countless other viewers and just people in general. You, my mom, we were just like, maybe it's like a whole contractual agreement, like Tyler Perry had to have X amount of episodes of projects put on the OWN network. So by doing the Pains, it would have been a way to fulfill that contractual agreement. So at that point, it would have been like the equivalent job. And I remember like, okay, well, it's like a 21-minute show. That's not too bad compared to like the 42-minute ones. But then when you watch the Pains, it felt so lifeless, like there was like no effort put into it whatsoever. And as a result, I feel like that added even more even more credibility to the whole thing, his contractual agreement. So instead of adding extra seasons to the haves and the have-nots, or if Loving You Is Wrong, he just created the pains to fulfill like a 20 or 40 episode order, and then that'll be the end of it. And of course, you know, what was it, in mid 2019 is when we heard about the haves and the have-nots having a season 8, 9, and 10, when originally season 7 was supposed to be, 8 and 9. I'm sorry, 8 and 9, not 8, 9, and 10. When we got the call about, oh yeah, we're actually not ending at season 7 because it was supposed to end at season 7. I had multiple sources tell me that it was supposed to end, but they did put on extra seasons. So don't at me with that. So season 7, the deadliest season, yeah, right, that was supposed to be it. But for whatever reason, OWN ordered more episodes. Now, I don't think it's an impossible thing, because like Tyler said, with his new studio setup and whatnot, he's able to create content at a rate like never before. So being able to create so many new projects so quickly, it makes perfect sense that OWN probably got in a situation, because Oprah is no longer like a major shareholder anymore. She sold a percentage of her ownership of the. I feel like there was some talks behind the scene where OWN is like fading out shows and introducing new stuff, basically trying to. You got to look at the Tyler Perry machine and how much work he was able to create in such a short amount of time, and the ratings were great except for the pains. So it's almost like they've been trying to replicate that with their own shows, like, you know, David Makes Man, Ambition, Cherish Today, and, you know, still in the works, but they haven't been fully created yet. So it's like they got to fill in like 2 or 3, basically 3 to 4 shows. I mean, Tyler Perry did have wasn't For Better or Worse on there for a little while. I honestly forgot. I just know for a fact it was the haves and have-nots, Love Thy Neighbor, If Loving You Is Wrong, and The Pains. And then once again, you got to look at the cost effectiveness, because Tyler Perry does all of his production on location instead of going out to different places and, you know, having to, you know, pay to do this and that. So really, it's like, it's almost like the OWN network would have to create 8 shows by themselves to even fill in the gap left by Tyler Perry. So it's almost as if, you know, Tyler was like, okay, fine, if you want more have and have-nots, because that's still your #1 show, I'll create more. And it's basically like, you know, again, Tyler Perry put in his notice, but hey, I'll stay aboard until you can find another worker to replace me. So as long as necessary to the OWN network. And once OWN has a solid catalog, a body of work that they feel is strong enough to keep the channel afloat, even when Tyler Perry eventually and inevitably pulls the plug on the haves and the have-nots on the OWN network. Like, for, you know, I hate to say this, and this is just hypothetical, have and have-nots season 15. I mean, I just feel like it, from a business perspective, it makes sense. Unfortunately, as a viewer and a lover of the show, which the channel is named after, I feel like the show itself will suffer in terms of quality. So basically, it's like the haves and the have-nots will be it's almost like the haves and the have-nots is the bottom of the totem pole of the OWN network. The thing will fall, but if you keep it there, you can build upon it, and as a result, the channel will stay afloat. I honestly feel like that's why Greenleaf is getting a spinoff. Yes, fans love the show. We want more. But you can make the argument that because even the writers don't know what the spinoff is about, they announced it because they saw how much backlash they were getting because it was ending. And it's like, okay, Greenleaf is going to be ending after season 5 as planned, so we're going to introduce a new show. But then once people went off about the show ending, they're like, okay, we'll do a spinoff. I feel like the OWN network, I mean, it's almost like BET Plus. Once Ruthless went on hiatus, people were like, I'm canceling my subscription, because even though BET Plus has other content on there, it's not strong enough content to warrant the $9.99 plus tax per month for the subscription. Just like the OWN network, people are spending extra money to get that in their cable package, but without the haves and the have, people have said, I'm no longer watching that network. So I think that the haves and the have-nots is still going to continue up until the point the OWN network has its footing. Which again, I feel like it's going to make the show suffer in terms of quality, but it most likely will still do fantastic in ratings. So now, Jeremy, you've blabbed on for like almost 12 minutes about the haves and the have-nots and about the pains and Greenleaf, but what does it have to do with If Loving You Is Wrong? Again, look at the perspective aspect of it. Could If Loving You Is Wrong have a season 6? I think it could, but I don't think it will anytime soon, because you have to look at it from the perspective of if you were Tyler Perry. I think a great example, I was watching there was like this musical series called Life After, where they talk to like different musical acts, you know, after their heydays and whatnot. They talk about how they got started, when they hit their prime, and then when they kind of fell off, but they're still doing music or whatever. And I was watching one about Belle Biv DeVoe, and like there's a bunch of YouTube channels that have been posting unsung, behind the music, life out, basically a great amount of musical documentaries. Some of them I've watched before, some of them I haven't watched in years, but I just love watching the journeys of a lot of these artists. But long story short, it was during the Belle Biv DeVoe second album, Hootie Mac, because their first album, Poison, I mean, obviously just a smash hit. I'm talking like them, it was a smash. But basically, Hootie Mac, it's like you got Ron, but at the time Mike was like a music executive, and he was over there doing his own thing with his music label and everything, and working on like Another Bad Creation, other artists, and of course Boys to Men. So it's like, why would I be focusing on a Belle Biv DeVoe BBD album when I'm working with these different musical acts, bringing in millions of dollars, getting platinum records and whatnot? So I feel the same because of the success of the haves and the have-nots and his other projects on the OWN network that led to such a lucrative deal with Viacom, giving him far more opportunities. I mean, it's almost like, you know, New Edition / BBD was, you know, Michael Bivins, the music business. He was able to create his own label within what was the record label they were in? Was it RCA Records? I forgot. But basically, he was able to work and get these musical acts together, these new projects, generating him far more money. So why would I go back to the BBD New Edition thing unless I really had to? You know what I mean? So I feel like with Tyler Perry, with his shows on BET Plus, with his shows on BET, Young Dylan on Nickelodeon, A Fall from Grace. Look, let's just not talk about the quality and what you think of A Fall from Grace. Despite that, it still got like, what was it? And correct me if it was like 21 or 23 million views within the first week on Netflix movie. We're not going to talk about that. Talk about the quote unquote ratings of it. I think that there's going to be more Tyler Perry stuff on Netflix in the near future. Tyler is going to focus on his new stuff, not his old stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like doing And If Loving You Is Wrong season 6 will bring about new interest in the show, because remember, not everyone had their own network. Not everyone watched the series. Just like the haves and the have-nots. I think that if the haves and the have-nots is on BET or something like that, it would do numbers. I think it would run circles around Sisters in the Oval, because remember, the ratings for the haves and the have-nots are amazing. The Oval and Sisters do okay, or at least close to, if not over, 1 million per episode. But especially during the 9 p.m. time slot. However, the haves and the have-nots does above that on a network that not a lot of people have. So I think that if the haves and the have-nots, well, specifically, you know, the early seasons when the ratings were just very stellar, I dare say the haves and the have-nots could easily do 1.5 million, if not more, per episode. That's just my opinion. But with If Loving You Is Wrong, I feel like it's like it would only come out of necessity. I feel like if Tyler felt that his new projects weren't getting the same support as the haves and the have-nots of Loving You Is Wrong, and he decided to end them, then I could see him bringing it back for a season 6. But I don't think it's happening soon. I mean, unless, again, Owen is like, hey, Tyler, thanks for extending the haves and the have-nots, but we just can't get it together. We need another show. Can you bring back If Loving You Is Wrong for another season? I know the fans want that. It's like, all right, so if he decides to do like a season 6, season 7, season 8, which honestly I don't want, I just want a conclusion, I can see that happening. But I don't think And If Loving You Is Wrong season 6 will happen anytime soon. I think it would be nice. I think we should get a conclusion, but I doubt we will. It's like, it's been a couple years since the filming. It finished filming in 2018. The cast, I'm not saying the cast wouldn't be against coming back, because with Tyler Perry's way of doing things, they could easily knock out that season in like 2.5 weeks, and that'll be about it. But we just got to accept the fact the show's gone, move forward, and like it or not, focus on its new shows. And if you don't like them, you know, just find something else to watch. And I'm not saying that in a condescending way, because it's like that, it is what it is. That's honestly the only thing I can say about it. I mean, a lot of people don't like Sisters, they don't like The Oval, and really I'm talking towards the viewership here on YouTube when I'm reading comments, then when I'm on Facebook and I read people's comments on posts and whatnot. And I get it, like some people don't like Greenleaf, but they love the haves and the have-nots. Other people said, I used to love the haves and the have-nots, but it sucks now and I prefer watching Greenleaf. And If Loving You Is Wrong, I thought that was better than everything. And the way it ended, I'm just done with the own network. Or it's like, I love all the Tyler Perry shows, but based on how If Loving You Is Wrong just ended the way it did, screw it, I'm done with this bull crap. I'm not even going to invest my time in the haves and the have-nots, because what's the point? I want to get it reinvested in the show once it comes back from this long hiatus. And then what if it turns out the haves and the have-nots randomly ends, like If Loving You Is Wrong, without answering a lot of questions? And let me put it this way. If Loving You Is Wrong had a terrible ending with a bunch of unanswered questions, if the haves and the have-not ended the same way, which I'm going to be completely honest, I think it probably will. At this point, I just feel like the show is probably just going to end and leave at least 500 different questions, because you know me, I know that show like the back of my hand, even though there is some stuff I may forget from time to time. But that show has so many storylines that has never been brought back, because after just the abysmal scene of the abysmal promotion, we never found out who the father of Alex's baby was. And I'm like, okay, that just lets me know right there, we're probably never going to see Tony get his kidney on the haves and the have-nots. Being said, I feel like this should be my last If Loving You Is Wrong video for a long time, until we get some news, or unless I'm interviewing one of the cast members. We just need to put the show to bed. Old Yeller needs to take a rest. There's no need of talking about it anymore, even though I know I'm probably going to get questions on a daily basis about it. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Donate, PayPal, Cash App, Patreon. You know, if you want to, you don't have to, whatever. But share this. Well, I don't know if this is the video you should share around, but I've already done other videos about my thoughts on the finale and stuff like that. But we'll never know if Ian was alive or dead, and if Alex ever gets out of jail. That's all she wrote, folks. That's all she wrote. I mean, maybe Tyler Perry will hear our cries soon enough, or one day. But like I said, he's working on so many other projects that are successful. And once he filmed that final episode, that was pretty much it. And we just got to move on. That's all we can do.